Lorne, only on News 2.
On World News Tonight this Saturday, Super Tuesday, Super Stakes, as four major presidential candidates head into the most important day of the primary season. American rescue teams arrive in flooded Mozambique, where the death toll is expected to rise into the thousands. And the games people play. A long-awaited debut.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, Saturday.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Vargas. It is a flurry of handshakes, rallies, and speeches for the men who would be president on this last weekend before the biggest primaries of the 2000 campaign. For the Republicans, delegates from 12 states are at stake on this Super Tuesday. It is make or break time for candidate John McCain, as ABC's Mike Von Fremd reports.
George W. Bush's controversial visit to Bob Jones University has been John McCain's most potent weapon on the campaign trail. The university for decades has banned interracial dating. But last night, in the face of mounting pressure, the school changed its policy.
This thing is of such insignificance to us. It's so significant to the world at large, the media particularly. Why should we have this here as an obstacle?
Today, McCain reacted with both relief and a backhanded compliment.
The Bob Jones University announced that they were doing away with their practice of banning interracial dating. Thank goodness. Now I say to the folks at Bob Jones, now you're into the 18th century, try the 21st.
As he takes his campaign into New England, McCain is now facing a new round of environmental attack ads financed by two wealthy Bush contributors from Texas. McCain says it is an abuse of campaign finance laws.
Are we going to allow two Texas cronies of George W. Bush to hijack an election? Tell them to keep their dirty money in the state of Texas, my friends. Don't spread it all over New England and America.
New England is one of the few parts of the country where McCain is not the underdog. He's running more than 20 points ahead here in Massachusetts, and in fact has a chance of sweeping all 5 New England states voting on Super Tuesday. New England has the potential of giving McCain a much-needed boost. But since this region does not hold the lion's share of Super Tuesday delegates, a boost may not be enough. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Boston.
Governor Bush also spent the day in the Northeast, picking up an endorsement from New Jersey Governor Kristi Todd Whitman. A lot of attention is focused on neighboring New York, where the Republican candidates are running neck and neck. Today, George W. Bush canvassed the state with a particular block of voters in mind. ABC's John Yang reports.
Battling for votes in New York today, George W. Bush made a clear attempt to appeal to a key group of voters, women, with the presence of 2 of his most prominent female backers. His wife, Laura.
My priorities would be my faith, and my priorities would be my family.
And Elizabeth Dole at Bush's side for the first time since before the New Hampshire primary.
He has a message that women want to hear, whether it's less regulation or whether it's education, which is so important for families.
Bush is undertaking a not-so-subtle attempt to close his party's gender gap by focusing on issues important to women, like education.
And I want to thank those of you who brought your children here today. It reminds me of how important it is to make sure that every child gets educated in America.
Today, Bush began airing this radio ad in New York.
Governor Bush's education plan for America is hailed as remarkable for its bold conservatism.
And another radio ad attacks McCain on women's health issues.
McCain opposes funding for vital breast cancer programs right here in New York.
The Bush campaign's focus on the women's vote in New York reflects the high stakes here. The state holds more than 1/5 of all the delegates up for grabs on Super Tuesday, and polls show this is the closest race to be decided that day. John Yang, ABC News, Binghamton, New York.
As for the Democrats, 15 states are holding primaries or caucuses on Tuesday. 1/3 of the total number of delegates will be chosen on that one day. For Bill Bradley, who is yet to win a single primary contest, Super Tuesday needs to carry a super surprise. Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
Underdog Bill Bradley pleaded with voters today to ignore the polls and the pundits who say his candidacy is doomed.
We're a little behind, but it's not over.
Bradley is making some 11th hour changes. There's an unconventional television commercial.
He knows New York. Tax policy. Jump shot.
Tough choice.
And an unusual travel-packed few days through the Northeast.
On Tuesday, New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Maine will send a message across America that we're about to begin a new era.
There is another change. Lately, Bradley has returned almost exclusively to his original message of reform.
A kind of politics based on belief and conviction, not 1,000 promises and 1,000 attacks.
He has all but dropped any mention of his opponent, Al Gore, except for a mild rebuke today about Gore's role in a 1996 campaign fundraising scandal.
I think 1996 will be a problem for him in the fall. And, it could end up putting the Democratic agenda at risk.
Bradley has attacked Gore in fits and starts over the past 6 weeks, but has been unwilling to go as far as some aides have advocated, even if it means losing. Bradley has always faced tough odds in beating a sitting vice president. Discouraged friends and advisors say that Bradley himself has made the fight even tougher in deciding to stick by his own set of unique political rules. Jackie Judd, ABC News, New York.
President Clinton has gone public on the acquittal of 4 white police officers in the killing of an unarmed black man. The verdict in the Amadou Diallo case has sparked outrage in parts of New York. In San Francisco at a fundraiser, Clinton said he thought race did play a role in the incident.
I don't pretend for a moment to second guess the jury. I didn't sit there and listen to the evidence. But I know most people in America of all races believe that if it had been a young white man in a young all-white neighborhood, it probably wouldn't have happened.
On Monday, lawyers for the police officers will meet with the Attorney General's staff to urge them not to pursue civil rights charges against the officers. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, the fight for survival in Mozambique. The scandal-plagued LAPD is giving up on its anti-gang units and starting from scratch. And the race is on to snap up the latest in video game technology.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday. Brought to you by Gateway.
Just when you think you have the latest computer, you don't. But you can get one that's never outdated. Come to Gateway Country and get a fresh PC you can trade in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Featuring the AMD Athlon processor at 650 megahertz for $37 a month.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, we're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends March 11th.
I don't paste my dentures anymore. I bond them with C-Bond denture adhesive.
2 powerful adhesives in a micro-thin seal bonds dentures to gums. Can hold and fit comfortably all day. No messy cleanup.
Bond your dentures with C-Bond.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Sis, I snooped in your medicine cabinet. So? You switched to X-Lax.
Yeah, Correctol works with something artificial. X-Lax works with natural senna.
Very effectively, too.
You tried it.
What a find.
What a snoop.
Good morning, guaranteed.
The first American rescue teams have now arrived in Mozambique. As the floodwaters recede, they are now revealing the full horror of this natural disaster. ABC's Sheila McVicker is there.
The vast inland sea is beginning to dry up. Emerging today, the outlines of farmers' fields, the places where villages once were, and the bodies of the dead. The problem now is to get people to places where they can be helped. There is already some cholera. These people had to be moved before it spread.
They're drinking from the water that you can see is contaminated at this stage.
eating fish out of the water that they're catching, and then bananas is their main meal at this stage.
In the town of Chikalane, miles from the river, there are 40,000 people who need help. Helicopters ferry in food. But there are not yet enough helicopters, not yet enough food. Veronica Michelle told us that she had not eaten for most of the week. At the health clinic, there are no doctors, only the most basic medicine, no antibiotics, and a growing number of cases of malaria, 5 times the normal rate. We have a lot of malaria here, says this nurse. It's because people are living in the open. For most, their only shelter is under a tree, cooking, eating, sleeping, all in the open, with no protection from mosquitoes or the elements.
Well, the shelter is still missing completely. People are in the sun now. If it rains, they'll be in the rain.
And when the rain comes, it becomes clear just how miserable conditions can be, how fragile health is here, how quickly disease could spread. The floodwaters may be receding now, but the rainy season will last here for at least another 3 weeks. And that means that these people will have to wait before they can even think about going home. Until the floods, this country had the fastest growing economy in the world. Farmers produced enough food to feed the entire population. Now, not only has this year's harvest been lost, but aid workers say the land will be unusable for a long time. And people will need a lot of help to survive what comes next. Sheila McVicker, ABC News, Chakalane, Mozambique.
In Chile, the return of former dictator Augusto Pinochet has sparked violent protests. Police called on riot units to handle an angry crowd in front of the presidential palace. The demonstrators were calling for Pinochet to stand trial on human rights abuses. China has issued a new threat against Taiwan, promising to take drastic measures if the province continues to delay reunification talks indefinitely. U.S. lawmakers have said that China's latest threat could jeopardize its efforts to join the World Trade Organization. Still ahead tonight, eliminating the confusion over organic food. The government steps in.
Dad, why do you shave?
Well, because I don't want a beard.
Why do you wear a tie?
That's easy, because I have to.
Dad, why do you always eat Cheerios?
Because Daddy's cholesterol's kind of high.
And a study shows the whole grain oats in Cheerios can help lower cholesterol when part of a low-fat diet.
Why do you have high cholesterol?
Well, because Daddy used to eat not such good things before he met Mommy.
Daddy?
The one and only Cheerios.
We keep families strong. We mend broken hearts. We make people smile. We're the people of Pfizer. We develop medicines that make the world a better place. We spend over $2.5 billion a year on research. That's why we believe we'll introduce more new medicines for more diseases than anyone else. We're not just looking for cures, we're going to find them. Pfizer. Life is our life's work.
Where's the center of the tech world?
Tokyo?
I don't think so.
The center is best described by use of the Fourier vortex theory.
Let me get back to you. Whoa! Not here! Tech world? Anyone?
Looking for the center of the tech world?
I think I found it.
Maybe it's where the most highly respected, highly successful tech companies are found. The New York Stock Exchange.
Think the Fed's gonna raise interest rates?
Oh, I think people are definitely confused about which flea and tick protection to use for their dogs and cats.
Yeah, there's others out there, but fact is, Frontline's still the best. That's because Frontline kills 100% of fleas within a day. And only Frontline kills all major ticks, including the one that can carry Lyme disease. There it is. Oh!
For fleas and ticks, Frontline is the veterinarian's #1 choice.
Oh, he agrees.
Sunday on This Week, candidates Bush and Bradley reveal their campaign strategy, and this candidate called him an agent of intolerance. Sunday, the Reverend speaks out on This Week.
In Michigan, 6-year-old Kayla Rowland was buried today in a private funeral service. A classmate is accused of shooting her to death earlier this week. In his weekly radio address today, President Clinton invoked Kayla's memory and launched a new attack on Congress for its failure to pass gun legislation.
When first graders shoot first graders, It's time for Congress to be guided by their hearts and their heads, not by a fear or the pressure tactics of the NRA.
The president has summoned lawmakers to a meeting on Tuesday to push for gun control legislation. Organic foods have moved from roadside stands to supermarkets, a multi-billion-dollar business trying to satisfy a growing American appetite. But just what is it that makes a food organic? As ABC's Andrea McCarran reports, that is a question the government is now trying to answer.
Sales of organic products are expected to reach a record $6 billion this year, but there has never been a national standard for what the label organic really means. A new proposal for the first ever federal guidelines for organic foods could clear up any confusion. It would ban the use of genetically engineered foods, the practice of irradiation, and the use of sewage sludge as fertilizer. Those regulations were not included in earlier government proposals.
What we will have is definitive standards that say this is what organic is, and it's one that the public wants.
The organic food industry applauds the guidelines.
It's a very good thing for organic farming, for the organic industry, and for the consumers who want to purchase organic products.
When the USDA first proposed a national standard for organic foods more than 2 years ago, it clearly touched a public nerve. The department received an unprecedented 270,000 letters, many of them objecting to the use of irradiation and genetic engineering.
Opponents of the new guidelines argue that the Agriculture Department caved to public pressure. They say biotechnology makes food just as safe, if not safer.
There's nothing wrong with clear guidelines, but one hopes that government policies which mandate guidelines will be based on science and not just ill-informed prejudice.
Once the new guidelines are formally announced, there will be another period for public comment. But administration officials are optimistic this set of rules will become law by the end of the year. Andrea McCarran, ABC News, Washington.
The Los Angeles Police Department has taken its strongest action yet in the wake of its corruption scandal. It is disbanding the department's most aggressive frontline gang-fighting units that have been at the center of the scandal. Here's ABC's Carla Wall.
The anti-gang crash units will soon be gone from the streets of Los Angeles. Crash will be replaced in a month by new special enforcement units with more experienced officers who will be limited to 3 years of service. And this time the department vows the officers will be more strictly supervised. But critics are skeptical about whether real change will take place.
Well, we've seen this before. We've seen LAPD disband units, rename them, and put them back in place. But there's a culture of the LAPD that needs to be changed.
Rafael Perez, the crash officer at the heart of the corruption scandal, has given the public a glimpse of that culture, one where officers underwent initiation rites and were given awards for wounding and killing suspects.
The lines between right and wrong became fuzzy and indistinct.
Victims were framed, beaten, and in 2 instances killed. So far, 20 officers have been implicated in the scandal, and hundreds of cases may be compromised.
The blue curtain has to come up. The processes of the LAPD, how they discipline officers, all has to become public information.
Once again today, critics called for an independent civilian commission to investigate the department. But so far, Police Chief Bernard Parks has refused, insisting that the problems can be addressed internally. Carla Wohl, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Police say a drifter in custody in Austin, Texas, may be a serial killer. Tommy Lynn Sells confessed to 13 killings over a 12-year period, police say. According to police, Sells admitted homicides in 7 states. It is a cause of so far so good for a dredging barge stuck in the mud off the coast of Washington state last night. The Coast Guard says there have been no leaks from the Paula Lee, which was carrying up to 12,000 gallons of fuel when it went aground. Crews are working now to free the barge. Just ahead, disappointing news for women pinning their hopes on one treatment for breast cancer.
Imagine combining the stain-fighting power of Efferdent and freshening power of Listerine. You'd get Efferdent Plus. It's extra fresh, and nothing gets your dentures cleaner. Efferdent Clean, Listerine Fresh. That's Efferdent Plus.
Natural, real. Today's way to lose the gray.
Grecian Fire.
smoking, again.
So, Dr. Jekyll, when should we expect Mr. Hyde?
You're looking at Hyde. I quit Saturday, this time from Nicoderm CQ.
Has Carol moved out yet?
Nope. In fact, she's tickled pink.
He does seem normal.
I am normal. This is CQ. Helps calm the cravings 24 hours a day, even when you first wake up.
Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Guys, relax.
You know when it's time to focus on heart health. You're even taking vitamin E. But Centrum knows there's more to it. There's selenium, garlic, and CoQ10. Now, getting all this is as easy as Centrum. New Centrum-focused formulas, each a blend of nutrients more completely focused on one health concern. You know when to focus on your bones. You know you need calcium. But zinc, D, and magnesium may help too. Getting all this is as easy as new Centrum-focused formulas, focused on specific health needs.
Good evening, Batman.
Alfred.
I've stepped up safety in the Batmobile, sir.
Really?
Should a villain steal it, someone will track it. If your airbag goes off, an advisor will assist you. If you're stranded, satellites will help locate you.
And where have you put all these things?
Just press the OnStar button, sir.
Well done, Alfred.
My pleasure, sir.
OnStar, how can I help you, Batman?
It is a treatment that was once the hope of thousands of breast cancer patients. Now that hope has dimmed. A series of studies, the most recent this week, show the treatment may not work, but researchers worry they may never know for sure. ABC's Jim Sciutto explains.
For women with metastatic breast cancer, cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, few treatments offer hope for long-term survival. Several years ago, doctors believed bone marrow transplants, coupled with high doses of chemotherapy, might offer new hope. The early studies have shown that hope may have been premature, but trials that could confirm whether the treatment works are now on the verge of collapse because they can't get enough patients to participate.
I think there was a lot of false hope that was given, which is really, in my opinion, a cruel hoax.
The latest study, which was posted on the New England Journal of Medicine's website on Friday, found that bone marrow transplants make no significant difference in survival. Preliminary results from other trials reached the same conclusion, and the lead researcher of the only study that showed some benefit allegedly fabricated the results. But many doctors, even some who are skeptical about the treatment, say all the negative publicity has gotten ahead of the science. Dr. Charles Hestorfer says it's simply too early to eliminate what could turn out to be a helpful treatment for some.
I think the reality is not that it doesn't work, but that it doesn't work for everyone.
It did work for Margaret Ambry. She's developed leukemia, a rare side effect of chemotherapy, but her breast cancer has been under control for 6 years.
It's not wise to throw away options.
Despite the doubts, the National Breast Cancer Coalition is encouraging women to stay in the trials, because without their help, doctors may never know for sure if bone marrow transplant is at least an option for patients with few alternatives. Jim Sciutto, ABC News, New York.
To learn more about treating breast cancer with bone marrow transplants, visit our website. Go to the weekend news page on abcnews.com. For the first time ever, the number of people in the world who are overweight equals the number of people who are underfed. 1.2 billion for each group, according to the World Watch Institute. The study says both groups are malnourished. Still ahead tonight, why hundreds stayed up all night in Japan. It's more than just a game.
Cold, dry air makes it worse. So can days like these. That's scalp stress itch. And Scalpicin stops it. Clean, unscented, medicated. To stop scalp stress itch. Fast. Scalpicin stops scalp stress itch.
Natravent reinvents the decongestant spray. Ordinary sprays need preservatives. Only Natravent prevents contamination with its MicroPure pump. No preservatives invade your delicate nasal passages. For fast, long-lasting relief, new Natravent. Precisely what you need, nothing more.
Please welcome today's guest, Drew Carey.
Well, today I'm going to show everyone how to install DirecTV.
Great.
First, you take your drill, your wrench, your stud finder. This will come in handy. Just in case.
Fantastic.
And chuck it out the window. Because now, not only do you get more movies and sports and stuff and digital quality picture and sound, but installation's free too. DirecTV, now with local channels. My work is done here.
Hello?
Michael?
Coming.
Hi.
Oh.
Made a little extra.
I guess you heard Barbara was away.
Visiting Katie at college.
Yep.
First year, huh? How's Matt?
Made the dean's list.
Great. I know our Josh is only in 3rd grade, but I don't know how you guys did it. Put him through school and all?
We invested with T. Rowe Price.
Really?
Yeah, and they helped us figure out how much to put away. They've got this college planning kit.
On my way to my mom's anyway.
Hey, thanks.
T. Rowe Price, helping people invest with confidence for over 60 years.
Tonight, the biggest stars and athletes celebrate the best of the best in sports over a decade. The 2000 ESPY Awards, ABC Late Night Tonight.
Traveling 1,100 miles across ice and snow. That is the challenge of the annual Iditarod sled dog race in Alaska. Today marked the ceremonial start of the trek across Alaska. A record 81 teams are crying mush and competing for the top spot. Finally tonight, would you wait in line all night for a video game? In Japan, thousands did. Today, Sony debuted its most eagerly awaited product ever. And as ABC's Mark Litke reports, it's not just child's play.
Thousands camped out through a bone-chilling night, and by morning, lines were blocks long. Some had flown halfway around the world to shell out $400 each.
I saved some money on the hotel room.
All to be among the first lucky owners of PlayStation 2. The most supercharged, super-hyped game machine ever produced. Graphics so powerful, images seem to come alive and even convey emotion, which some will find too real or too violent. Right at your fingertips, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Sony spent $1 billion developing this sleek machine, and millions more luring crowds into glitzy previews, with a lot more than the traditional Japanese welcome. The company's strategy to make this gadget the nerve center for home entertainment and communications. Along with the games, it already plays stereo quality CDs, digital movies, and will soon be connectable to the internet and all that it provides. As one delighted customer said this morning, it's not just a game, it's something I can't live without. With reactions like that and the first million sold out in only 2 hours, Sony is clearly onto something of epic proportions in today's tech wars. I'm afraid you PlayStation fanatics in the U.S. will have to wait until the end of summer for the American version to arrive, but Sony's already banking on just as much enthusiasm across the Pacific. A pretty safe bet, considering Americans bought 25 million of the first PlayStation. That's 1 in every 4 households. A lot of potential sweaty palm players just itching to take the controls, to judge for themselves if Sony is up to the challenge. Mark Litke, ABC News, Tokyo.
And that is our report for tonight. Tomorrow on This Week with Sam Donaldson and Cokie Roberts on the campaign trail with George W. Bush. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Good night.
Sunday, a dramatic rescue in space. Doomed Mir space stations getting a second chance, Hollywood style. Watch ABC's World News Tonight, Sunday.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
In the future, oceans cover the earth. One man still searches, one woman still dreams, and a child holds the secret.
He'll come for me, he will.
It's a great movie every Saturday night. Kevin Costner stars in Waterworld. ABC tonight at 8/7 Central. Parental discretion advised.
Like to start the new year on a high note? The Civic for the year 2000. And now, the lyrics. See how a little music can enrich your life.
This weekend on ER, there are new mothers.
You're doing a great job. You really are.
There are good mothers.
We tried to resuscitate her for 25 minutes. We used all our capabilities.
Sorry, Peter.
And special guest mothers.
Susie Cakes! Can I talk to you for a minute?
Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Pretty cool, huh, Carter? Very cool.
ER,
Tonight at 10:35 on News 2.
After Bloody Sunday, retracing the steps of that infamous day in civil rights history. Last-minute strategies in the countdown to the biggest political prizes yet. The explosive rise in the use of the drug called ecstasy. It's not just in dance clubs anymore. And coming soon to a theater near you, Mir, the movie.
From ABC, this is World News.